Welcome to another episode of Something to Talk About. Phil Leon Guerrero here with our friends from the UOG dorm. We got a lot of stuff to bring to you here at Kings and Tamooning. Make sure you tune in. Coming up next. Welcome to another episode of Something to Talk About. I'm Phil Leon Guerrero, subbing in for Patty Arroyo. I know, I usually use another word. It's okay. We're serious here, and we have a serious conversation planned about why you shouldn't just go to UOG, but also stay at the University of Guam. And for that, I have a couple of guests here with me at Kings and Tamooning. First of all, welcome Jonathan Triplett, the Director of Resident Life.
Yes.
I got it right? Okay.
Yes, you did.
Over at the University of Guam, and two of the RAs at the UOG dorms, Hafide J and Hafide Alu. So the reason why we brought you here is because I heard through the grapevine that there are some big improvements happening at the UOG dorms. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, we just finished renovations of our residence halls. Still a work in progress, but we just did renovations at our residence halls, and we're very excited about that and the work that our students did with the renovations along with our plant management department.
Wait, you guys led the renovations? How did you get wrangled into that? Is it like an ownership thing? Were you voluntold? How did you make this happen?
Well, actually, that's a really good question, Phil. Because actually, it was one of the projects that the office had in plan for the summer, and so when summer began, and we needed something to do at the dorms just to kick back. Not all of us were taking classes, so we were just working. So it was, how I look at it as being part of it, it was basically just having fun and helping out and see what I can do to help out the dorms while I was staying there at the moment. So,
Some happy labor.
so it was, yeah, I like that. Happy labor. I love that.
What went into the renovations, Jay? Like what sort of work did you guys do?
Well, it was actually a really big project. I'm glad that everybody was volunteered and high spirit to go with it. One of the big things we can really point out, and I'm pretty sure the residents could hear it while we're fixing is the tables. That was one of the main focuses. We got the old desk, but they just need a good shine. Man, sand it down, and then apply the staining varnish, and lo and behold, it is good, brand new. That's just to name one.
Okay.
And then let's see, another way we pointed out is along with plant maintenance and with other volunteers would be painting the rooms, like give it a good coat, just so not just will the furniture and all that be new, but also the surrounding be new.
Okay, so like top to bottom, everything has a nice fresh look to it. I also saw that there were some like soft upgrades as far as like where internet is in the dorms, right? Tell me about that.
Right now, we're so happy because we have Wi-Fi now in the rooms. And that's one of the things the students have been longing for. When
You don't have to crowd the common
you don't
area
have to crowd
and
the
all
common
that.
areas or walk to the library just to have access for Wi-Fi. So it's getting really convenient now, just being in the dorms and having access to Wi-Fi and just studying in your own room in your own comfortable zone.
Now, Jonathan, let's talk about the students that are served in the dorms. UOG is, I like to think of, and I'm sure Dr. Underwood would agree, the natural choice for higher education in Micronesia and the Western Pacific. And that means that we host a lot of students that choose to attend college here on Guam that aren't from Guam and maybe have never even been to Guam before, right?
Yes, most of the students that we have are from the outer islands. That we have 203 students that live in our residence halls. We have a small handful that are from Guam, but most of them are from the outer islands. And one of the things that we would like to be able to do, and we're working on a new dorm project, we're in discussions about it, is upping our housing facilities and creating more housing facilities. So that's one of the things we like to be able to do is offer more housing for local residents here in Guam.
Now, Alu, what island are you from originally?
I'm from Palau.
Palau, and you're from Palau too, right, Jay? How important was it for UOG to have dorms in order for you to attend the university? I mean, would it have been impossible for you to go to college if the dorms weren't available?
Yes, it would have been really impossible for me to further my education, and having the dormitories available for us made it convenient. And in ways we didn't have to worry about trying to find an apartment and stay. Because if we lived outside, that not only a place to stay, but actually having transportation to commute back home into school. So it's really convenient having the dormitories available for us.
I also, I mean, being a former UOG student, know how hard it is sometimes to be living at home with your parents, with your younger siblings. Sometimes the distractions can not be so beneficial to your academic life, right? So, right. I mean, is that something that really is integral to the fact that you guys can really just put your head down and make sure that everything is about the studies?
Yes. And then you actually really stay focused with your studies staying at the dorms because you have no distractions at all, like your mom or your dad or your brothers and sisters around. It's just you in your own space, and you manage your own time. So, yeah, it really helps a lot.
I think campus life sort of is one of the things that makes UOG unique in that a typical campus experience in like a stateside four-year college isn't the typical campus experience here at the University of Guam. And Jonathan, I think that also might be a benefit for someone to try to get into the dorm, is if you're looking for that type of experience, really the only way to sort of mirror an approximation of that would be to live on campus, right?
Right. Like I said, we're looking at a lot of different things for our campus. Right now, we're basically a commuter school right now as far as our local students. And once we get our housing built and get new housing, we can raise the level of programming, we can raise that campus atmosphere, and you could actually get a full experience from a college standpoint on campus here at the University of Guam. So that's one of the things that we're pushing for and trying to make happen within the next few years with the President's Good to Great initiative on raising the level across the board on our campus.
You also get like some pretty cool experiences when there's like study abroad people coming in, right? They stay in the dorms. So I'm thinking like the community that you guys build with just 200 students, it's not that many. You guys must be really tight knit, and I imagine with a bunch of Palauans and a bunch of people from Tinian, there must be some really good like night activities that you guys, when you guys come together and fellowship and stuff, right?
Yes, we do. Some of the activities that we have, we mostly plan like karaoke nights, and especially our Sunday chats is super awesome. We just go to the common areas like our study hall and have our director join us and have a couple of pizza and just talk about whatever issues that we feel like talking about. So it's really comfortable staying at the dorms, and despite the different the students that come from different areas, we've learned to live in the dorms, and it's actually really quite fun.
So what would you say, Jay, for someone who is thinking about maybe leaving home for the first time? They're a little nervous about going into a new place, being plopped into, a community with 200 other people. What would you say to try to encourage them that, it is possible and, it's not going to be that frightening experience that they may be anxious about?
Yeah, as I say to all the new applicants who maybe come in, not to worry too much. Maybe there's a little bit anxiety, a little bit worry, and maybe homesick for the first week, but we are very, as you said, tight-knit community. Maybe at least the most minimals, we're at least familiar with the person. So. And as Alu said, not only do we have activities, but there are also, maybe there's just those random moments where, hey, we got a ball, we got a bat, let's just go hit a few
Oh, really?
Yeah, it could be just some random outdoor like something, yeah, just spontaneous. We could just be going for some outdoor sports activities or that, or maybe if anything, just go maybe ask for the equipment and get the area, and then we just have a movie night playing on our own.
I was just
devices.
thinking, like, you know, you guys are at the university at all hours, like in the rare hours that there's like quiet and nobody there. That must be cool to sort of take advantage of, like you said. Let's go out and hang out at the field house or hang out at the football field, but nobody's there. It must be fun. Okay. What about you, Ali? What advice would you give someone maybe considering but not sold on? I'm going to apply to UOG so I can go and live in the dorms.
For a first timer, I really encourage you to, you know, come to the dorm. It's fun, and it's your second home. It's a home away from home, and of course you're gonna be meeting a lot of different people that you don't know, and a lot of people that come from different places. But that it's better to use that as your advantage to actually get to know them, and. Like Jamal said, you know, you're going to be a little homesick here and there, but trust me, the first day you're at the dorms, you're going to make a lot of new friends, and after a week or so, you're so comfortable with everyone that we like to kick back at the TV lounge, you know, it's so comfortable. It's also newly renovated, new furnitures, and I've noticed some new students coming in, and a week is kind of a bit too long.
Yeah.
They kind of got over the face within just the third day, and then you see them out at the basketball court, you know, playing ball and enjoying.
We're talking with our friends from the University of Guam, and we are going to be talking about how the dorms over at UOG are going from good to great with Jonathan and some other RAs over at the UOG dorms. Stick around, we'll be right back with more Something to Talk About. Welcome back to Something to Talk About. Philly Ongaro here, sitting in for Patty Arroyo while she earns a much-deserved vacation. Hope you're eating well, Patty, because we are here at Kings and Tamuning, joined again by the Director of Resident Life for UOG, Jonathan Triplett, and some two new victims for this segment. We have Angelica and DJ Ari's over at the UOG dorm. Hafa day, guys.
Hi.
So let's start with you, Angelica,
Okay.
because I know that you're eager to get your your voice out there. How long have you been staying in the dorms?
It's like almost 5 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been
Okay.
there long. Yeah.
Well, and if the dorms weren't available, would you have been able to leave home and go to UOG?
But it's gonna be hard because I like the dorms better. It's convenient, and if I were to leave off campus, it's gonna be either I stay with the family and transportation problem and stuff like that, and maybe the dorm is more affordable than living off campus, so it's better for me to stay in the dorm than.
Well, let's
yeah.
talk about price. So how much, Jonathan, per semester does UOG assess for the dormitory fee?
It's about $1,050, between $1,050, $1,060 per semester.
Oh, wow.
To live in the dorms, which is very affordable.
Yeah.
And especially compared to a lot of other pricing, housing, and a lot of other institutions, like I said, for the whole semester. So.
Well, I was just gonna say, Angelica, to try to get that price, $1,000.
$1,050.
$1,500, so $500 a month, including utilities and transportation costs. Kind of impossible to find in Guam.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see what you're talking about, the convenience and the affordability. What about you, DJ? How long have you been in the dorms?
I've been staying in the dorms for 3 years,
Okay.
and pretty much it's really convenient for me. Like if I was to stay off campus and go to UOG, like commute every day, it'll be a struggle having to have, like what Angelica said, transportation problems, and like if there's family emergencies I have to attend to, and stuff like that.
Okay, so you guys both have family on Guam?
Yeah, only one family. that I
Okay,
have so far.
but you still choose to stay at the dorms.
Yeah.
See, I think that that's an interesting point that I sort of want to make to the audience is if you do find yourself on Guam, even if you do have family here, you might want to consider applying to one of the 203 spots that they have available. I don't think all of them are available right now because Angelica and DJ need a place to stay. But to consider it because it's a way for you to focus on your studies.
Yeah.
You really do have a lot off your plate as far as costs for rent, utilities, and I'm sure you're not going to have an RA to help solve little disputes here and there if you have a roommate off campus or something like that. So I wanted to talk a little bit about future plans, Jonathan, because with the great cases that everyone is making, and like you said, only 203 available spaces, we probably have more demand than we do capacity for on-campus living, right?
Yes, we do. We have a waiting list, a pretty lengthy waiting list right now. Like I said, we can't accommodate them right now. We just don't have the space. But it is a good reason for the push that we're making on building new housing on campus. And so, living on campus with our programming and everything that we're adding, it's just a great experience for the young people before they go into the real world. To help get out on their own and live and prepare themselves for the future. So we're working on it. We're working diligently on it, and we're going to get it done.
And we're talking about without promising anything too far in advance and painting you into a corner. I mean, we're talking about building new dorms, right?
Yeah.
That's the discussion we're having right now.
Right. We're in conversation with that. The president is leading the charge on that, of course. But we are in discussions. We've been having meetings about new housing, talking about numbers for new housing, where to put them on campus, and different things like that. But we are in discussions right now as far as having new housing on campus.
And so let me ask you guys, if you don't mind, what islands were you originally from?
We're both from Chuuk.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think that if there are new dorms, that would allow more students from Chuuk to be able to come to UOG?
Most yes, definitely.
I want to keep going with this concept of good to great, which is what UOG is undergoing right now. And I've noticed that there's been a whole bunch of projects sort of you can think of on the periphery, but I see like a very clear vision of trying to boost the quality of campus life, right? You guys have sports teams that you can enroll in now. The Student Services Center is getting like a complete top to bottom remodel with more space being added. The field house was renovated. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I think is making it easier for someone to picture living on campus. And I want to ask, I mean, you've been there for a while. What improvements have you seen from the first day that you arrived at UOG to now?
Well, renovations for the dorms especially.
Yeah.
And since Mr. Tripp came, you see a lot of renovations at the dorm and progress there in the dorms, like not just the building itself, but even the outside. There's like some cleanups done outside, and everything is just, it looks better than before, like convenient for students. We even have a basketball and volleyball court at the back of the dorms.
Oh, okay.
We don't have that before, but now there's one. So usually the students will go out to the gym to play basketball, but now you hardly you will find dorm students in the gym now because
they're just out back.
Yeah, they're just at the back of the building playing basketball. There's a court there, concrete one.
Wow. What about you, DJ? What improvements have you noticed?
A lot from the dorms and from UOG itself, like the field house, like you mentioned. When I came, it was like a normal field house, but then now you can actually see some improvements happening going on over there. And for the dorms, like what Angelica said, and we have another court, which, like, I know some people would prefer outside activities, like playing in outdoors basketball, and if some would want to go play in the gym,
Yeah. I know playing basketball in the aircon is a little funny, I think, for people.
And on weekends, the gym is closed, so
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I was just thinking, like, with the new weight room too, it must be really convenient for dorm residents to just like walk over and get a nice workout. I mean, with everyone sort of taking up the track to run and walk around UOG, must be nice to be able to just have a convenient place to go. What is it like to like talk about maybe a weekend, no classes? You said that the gym is closed. If some of you maybe don't have transportation of your own, how do you guys keep yourself busy and not like go stir crazy?
Well, living on campus, right? It's more convenient. I could actually sometimes I would walk down to the Marine Lab.
And just hang out at the beautiful beach that's there.
It's a good place to hang out, and if I don't have anything to do, basically on the weekends, I would just go outside and play ball.
What about you, Angelica?
On the weekends, well, we have plans for shuttles now.
What?
Yeah,
That's cool.
to take students to go shopping and get their whatever they need, especially those who doesn't have any transportation. So it's really good for the students that we're planning the shuttle to take shopping trip every other 2 weeks.
Tell us about that shuttle service you're putting together.
Sure. When I first came, we added new programming because we have to have adequate programming in place. So we added different things to our programming. The shuttles service, UOG shuttles, is one of the things that we added. And as Angelica said, we're just in a testing phase right now. We run it every 2 weeks. We go to different shopping places, different places that students will want to go, just to see what the frequency of it is for the students. So we've been doing that every 2 weeks, doing shuttles. We take a lot of trips off campus, not only to take trips off campus for those type of things, but also educational things as well, trips to museums and different things like that to cover the educational piece as far as getting students off campus, and also trying to fit into our co-curricular piece and service learning with our programming as well.
Okay, so I know that we talked about a waiting list, but I think that with all of the good attributes that we have highlighted, I think maybe someone would want to take their chances to go ahead and apply. So what's the best way to reach out and try to get your shot in at living at UOG?
Basically, come by our office and apply. And we'll put you on that list, and we'll contact you and send you emails on a regular basis, letting you know where you're at on the waiting list. Or you can just come by the office and visit with us, send us an email, or call our office. But the best thing to do is come by our office and sign up for the dorms, and we'll put you on that list and stay in touch with you. Yeah, that's the best way.
Okay, and since I have you guys, can you indulge me with a favor? Would you be able to make a pitch and chickies right to that camera over there about living at UOG, living in the dorms?
Can you do it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Anything you want to do, right into that camera right there.
So you can encourage the young chickies out
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Encourage the young chickies out there to live at UOG.
Rijden in medische tattoo. So it's mutirto relats na office. Or Ferrari go apply. That's not Tom.
This has been a multilingual version of Something to Talk About. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you catch us next week, Sunday, because I will continue to be eating fantastic food here at King's and having great conversations. Thank you to Jonathan. Thank you,
you for having
Angelica.
us. Thank you
you,
very
DJ.
much.
Thank you.
And thank you to all the RAs over at UOG. We'll see you next week.